Okay, hello everyone. It's currently December 31st, which means this might be my last Humany video of the year, but I want to show you something interesting. Check this out. This is an object show video from 2008. Let's watch and then I'll explain more later. So we have two tofus, a soy sauce jar, and more tofu. We have like onions, knives. They all have faces just like object shows. And they're all cooking stuff, so there's knife and all that. And this video was uploaded in 2012 by rtil, but they animated it in 2008. So what is going on? Unrelated, but Nicki Minaj recently released a song called Everybody, and this is very explicit. So if you don't want to hear any swear words or vulgarity, do not listen to the song. But she released this in December 7th, so this is very recent, just a couple weeks ago, and it heavily samples a song called Move Your Feet by Junior Senior. Now, Move Your Feet is originally a 2002 sort of club song, and it has a very iconic line. It's like, everybody, move your feet and feel united. And I'm guessing this song came out before most of you were born, so you're not quite aware of it. And to be honest, I'm a little too young for it as well. I don't remember when this was like topping the charts, but I was on Newgrounds in 2008, and this is my Newgrounds account, Photoshop. Well, I shared it with Michael, so it was a joint account. And this is sort of like where we got our first taste of internet notoriety. Scale of the Universe blew up on Newgrounds back in January 2010, and it was the first thing we ever made that went viral online. But here's an interesting thing. If you look at our favorited items, there's barely anything there. So I said one of my favorite things was Tom Fulp, the creator of Newgrounds, but something's missing. So if you go back to the Wayback Machine for our Photoshop Newgrounds page, and you look at favorite movies and games, there's all these things that don't show up anymore. Specifically, oh my god, this is kind of hard to like navigate. I'll donate later, whatever. There's three things: Beauty is Humanity, Race Across the Rainbow, and Move Your Feet. And this snapshot is from July 2011. Now, Move Your Feet, if you click on it, it takes you here, which is the animation by rtil on Newgrounds. And this was posted on January 3rd, 2008. And indeed, rtil's Newgrounds animation called Move Your Feet is, in fact, the 2008 object show animation I showed you at the beginning of this video. And yes, it is a fan animation for Junior Senior's 2002 song called Move Your Feet. It's playing in the background of this whole video. It's like a music video, but I don't want to play that audio out loud so I don't get copyright striked. And I just remember back in this time period, I'm in like 5th grade, and Michael and I are watching this, and we're just obsessed with it because the song is so catchy and the animations are so cool. And if you try going to this link now, it's deleted. And I don't know why. It might be because of copyright or some issue, because they literally just have the whole Move Your Feet song in completion, which I guess breaks some copyright rule. But, in the video, it's very pixel art based, right? Like I'm just watching through little bits. This is how it starts. There's like two characters, one with a short pink bob hair. Another one is like, not bob, but pixie cut. Another one has brown hair. It's very Japanese inspired as well. But this was, a fan made animation by rtil, but that's not the official music video. What I also want to mention is that when Move Your Feet first came out as a song in 2002, Junior Senior, those are the artists, the musicians who made the song, their original music video is also pixel art based. And it's like arguably like better pixel art animation because it's made by an actual probably production label studio with like millions of dollars backing it. I'm not going to play much of it because I don't want to get copyright claimed, but you should watch it. I'll link everything in the description. If you're into pixel art, like this stuff is like pretty impressive stuff for 2002. Well, actually, I don't know about that. I mean, it is impressive. I don't know if like 2002 is that long ago. Obviously, this came first, and this was probably the inspiration for why rtil, 6 years later, would make this version, which is also pixel art, but it also has a tinge of sort of cooking. And that's why there's a whole cooking scene later on where all the cooking objects have faces, and some of them even have limbs. Like, that's the craziest part. If we go further forward, there's donuts jumping up and down, and I think there's somewhere where one donut is like flying through the others, and oh, here it is. So this is January 3rd, 2008, and we have Donut running away from these biting teeth. And how much more object-y can it get than that? Also, this is supposed to be like a riff on Seattle with the Space Needle at night. That Space Needle was probably an inspiration in my head for the Yoil Needy. I just remember seeing nightscapes like this as a kid growing up and thinking they were so cool and I wanted to emulate it. Yeah, I watched this in 2008, or okay, again, Michael and I, and we were very obsessed with it. And then I guess years later, we decided to make BFDI and probably had some subconscious influence when we made our characters. So obviously, I'm not saying that we stole the idea of objects from them. I think all art is derivative, and I think all human brains are kind of building on concepts that they saw in their childhood. So I think we should give credit to rtil where it's due. So huge thank you, rtil, for paving the way. Obviously, Michael and I took some of that and added more onto it. You know, we added the competition aspect, which comes from Survivor, but you know, the art style partially is inspired by this, although we didn't do pixel art, of course. And I just think it's so cool that like, I distinctly remember, like when I was re-looking at our old Photoshop Newgrounds page, like a week ago, I was thinking, I remember watching an animation of Junior Senior's song on Newgrounds when I was a kid, but I can't find it. I know I must have favorited it, but I couldn't find it. And I was like, is this the Mandela effect? Am I like gaslighting myself? Or am I just misremembering? So then I went to the Wayback Machine and I'm like, there's no way people took snapshots of our Newgrounds page. Because like we were like a nobody Newgroundser. You know, we had under 1,000 followers. But I searched on the Wayback Machine and look how many snapshots there are. Like, you know, we first blew up in 2010. So I guess it makes sense the snapshots start there. But I did not think that we had anywhere near enough like traction to get this many snapshots. Like there's literally two snapshots from the same day. So like it's just good to know that if I had a memory in my brain and then I couldn't find it later, you can trust the Wayback Machine to find you the actual truth. And the truth is that you know, I did favorite Move Your Feet. These other two animations, Beauty is Humanity and Race Across the Rainbow, I also distinctly remember. I think they have also been removed from Newgrounds, but they exist on YouTube. So I might talk about them later because they also had an influence on BFDI for sure. This one's by Pecan Outcast. And if you try to go to this link now, I'm just shocked that this all loads like in... This is a Flash animation that's playing through Ruffle, which is like a plugin that can still play SWFs through the Wayback Machine. I just can't believe that that all works. Okay, well... Okay, that's copyrighted stuff. But like, I'll talk about that one later. But basically, the summary of all this is that the Wayback Machine is a godsend. For historians' sake, it's like, this will be the saving grace that makes sure that like thousands and thousands of stories across the internet don't die. Because this is the only way I can verify that we did, in fact, watch this animation. Let me just see if this link still exists though. Like, in its modern Newgrounds form. See, it doesn't. Like, everything is getting deleted from Newgrounds and I just don't know why. Lastly, I want to say one more thing. So it might seem like lately I've been making a ton of videos that are basically uncovering some ancient object-related media, like I'm some sort of archaeologist obsessed with the past, but that's not why I made this video. No, the reason I made this video is because my TikTok For You page is just filled with this one sound. Everybody, move your feet and feel united. Whoa. And when I heard that, I was like, this sounds eerily familiar. They say it's a new song, but I swear I've heard it in my early childhood, and it feels like that might be related to BFDI somehow. So yeah, I searched, and it was, and I told you all about that. But I think the moral of the story is that one artist, one creative person can make a decision to like cover an old song, and it will reignite memories in like thousands of people. And, you know, if Nicki had decided to not make or release this Everybody song, I would have forgotten about rtil's Move Your Feet fan animation forever. Like, for the rest of my life, I might have never thought about this, and it might have just drifted into obscurity. The sands of time would have washed it away. So, I mean, that's just a lot of power for one person to have. So, I know Nicki Minaj is a controversial artist, but, you know, at least in this regards, thank you, Nicki, for reminding me of a very cherished childhood memory. And also, it's almost 3 a.m. here in California, which means that parts of the world are going to start moving into 2024 in just a few hours, like Australia, the Philippines, Japan, and all those countries on the east side of the world. So Happy New Year if you're about to celebrate that. We're going to say goodbye to 2023. This will be my last Humany video of 2023, so what do I say? 3. That's going to be the last word of this video because, you know, we're saying goodbye to 2023. So 3.